It is indeed my honor at this moment to invite Ms. Mariam Bukar Hassan, UN Global Advocate for Peace, to share a poem.
Good afternoon, Excellencies, delegates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's such an honor to be standing in your presence today to share my piece before the Beijing platform, before Resolution 1325, before the world learned to count our struggles, there were women who brokered peace without recognition. Women who stitched ceasefires with lullabies, who patched wounds with prayers breathed into the wind, who carried nations on the backs of their hands long before the ink on paper promised them a seat at the table. They were the unnamed architects of harmony, the market women of Abba, who rose against injustice, the mothers of Liberia, who locked the warlords in rooms until peace was signed, the grandmothers of Rwanda, who rebuilt villages from silence, and the teachers in Afghanistan, who dared to open schools under threats, and the women in Sudan, who formed human chains to protect their neighbors. 25 years ago, the world said never again without women. 30 years ago, Beijing challenged us to imagine equality as a blueprint for action. And yet, today, too many tables remain uneven. Too many negotiations are still built without the hands that mend, feed, and sustain communities. Too many corridors of power echo with promises while women still carry the cost of conflict and the cure. Across the world, one can see women who are the first responders to violence, the negotiators in the shadows, the architects of daily survival where international frameworks sometimes feel abstract. In UN missions, in various regions, courage is found not only in peacemakers, advisors, and mediators, but in mothers, teachers, and community leaders, whose labor of care is both invisible and indispensable. Everywhere I look, I see that peace is not a document, it is a living mosaic. It is sown in the gardens women cultivate after bombs fall. It is in the classrooms long after schools have been rebuilt. It is carried in bodies in our daily life, in the stubborn refusal to let communities crumble. And yet, even now, too often the world honors only the paper and forget the pulse. So I do not come here merely to commemorate anniversaries. I come to recall a lineage. I come to confront power with history. I come to say, peace is unfinished without women. Progress is incomplete without our presence. And justice is partial if we're still counting ourselves as optional. If women are not trusted to shape the peace, then the peace itself is unfinished. If we continue to speak in symbolic terms and measure inclusion by appearances rather than authority, then every treaty, every negotiation, every promise becomes a door left ajar. So this moment must tremble with the weight of all the hands that held life together when the world walked away. We must remember the mothers who carried children through the rubble, the sisters who spoke courage into trembling ears, the women who built hope from nothing but their heartbeat. We must not mark another anniversary with applause alone. We must carry it in our veins and let it move us to make space at every table, in every decision, in every room where peace is made. For when women are seen, heard, and trusted, the world finally begins to breathe again. Thank you very much.
What powerful words, what inspiring words. Thank you so much, Ms. Hassan.
Wow, Mariam, thank you very much. You are speaking to hearts and minds.